Hey there, Libra. Welcome to the last little bit of October 2019. I want to go ahead and get into your reading. Show me energies present for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Show me energies present for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Any cross watchers as well. Show me the energy for the present situations for Libra. Okay. So, the first card out, you have the Nine of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Seven of Wands, you have the Five of Cups, you have the Three of Wands in reverse, okay, and you have the Seven of Swords. A lot going on here, Libra. The bottom of the deck, you have the Magician. So, where are we now inside of ourselves, Libra? What are the things that you need to do to get over the hump? This feels like an emotional hump that needs to be examined a bit more and released as much as possible. It feels like there's a point now in a period where you need to start to put that pain to use. And I know that that sounds frustrating. It feels like there's a fair amount of pain here, frustration, heartache. But it also feels like it's important to move forward. And a lot of the times we can get very stuck within ourselves. And I think it's valuable for us to be at that place within ourselves, but also there's a point where we have to like step away from it, you know, when we become entrenched in something, when we wallow, you know, it's not healthy. And I'm not saying don't allow yourself to feel your feelings, but what I'm saying is don't live there forever. You need to eat, you need to breathe, you need to be interacting with the people that you love, that care about you. It feels right now here, Libra, for whomever this reading is for, you have the opportunity to do some really important things on your own. And I feel it's more so an energy of what makes sense in my life right now. What am I like? It's logistics. It's more about the logistics of life at this point and what you can do to alleviate whatever pain you've gone through. I've got the Three of Swords here, the Seven of Wands. I've got the Seven of Swords and the Five of Cups. Now, these are kind of heavy-hitting cards, okay? So the Nine of Pentacles talks about being alone, being on your own, making the best out of what you have possible and available, and, you know, building your wealth, building your confidence back. I feel here there's an energy of more so building our confidence back up again, or, you know, allowing yourself to feel more confident after you've kind of been knocked down a bit. But the Three of Swords next to it, this basically indicates an energy where we are still in our heart and in our mind about pain. You may have been dealing with an Aries. It doesn't matter who you've been dealing with, but, you know, the energy here is of somebody who is kind of coming out of that shell-shocked situation, that shell-shocked energy. The Seven of Wands talks about being defensive in a certain way, not as defensive as the Nine of Wands, but the Seven of Wands is some elements of defensiveness, also being on edge, fighting, anger, sometimes having to keep your cool, keep it under wraps, you know. I feel here that there's an energy where it's like we have been keeping our feelings to ourselves for a fair amount, and it's time to open that up. I don't know if you have anybody to speak to or not. You know, I will say that writing can be very helpful, even if you don't write to or send whatever letter you need to convey to a person. If you just have it for yourself and write it for yourself and read it, get that energy out of you. It's about purging that, placing it and purging it. The Five of Cups communicates an energy where we're very in our feelings. We're very emotional. And oftentimes it's because we feel a sense of lack. We feel like we've been left by somebody. We don't have the energy to go on. We're regretting things. We're having feelings of loss. And we're still not able to really feel okay, you know. And the reality of it is you have to go through that, but also there's more coming. And I don't mean like more terror, more horror, more, you know, painfulness. I mean, that's part of life, of course. But what I'm feeling is like the reality of it is there's goodness that comes after that type of energy. You have to go through those types of things to experience better stuff in your life, you know? It's not just candy canes and roses. So here, the Three of Wands in reverse. Oftentimes, the Three of Wands talks about when we're being patient, we're holding on, we're waiting for what we want. It's things that we've put effort into, and now they're coming back. It's like reaping rewards. Sometimes it can be about travel, patience, but in reverse, it's often depicted where we are letting it go, whatever this is that we hoped would be, we wanted it to be, it's often not turning out that way. And we just kind of release that and no longer want to hold on to it because it doesn't make sense for us. The Seven of Swords, for that to be up next, it's like, you know, and it's kind of weird. I don't necessarily know if I want to read these card by card. It feels like they're telling more of a message versus just, and this, and this, and this, and that, you know. I don't know if this is necessarily what you're moving in towards. It feels like this is kind of an amalgam of what you've been dealing with. With the Seven of Swords, it's basically where you are in connection with people that are toxic, people that lie to you, steal, cheat, you know, people that give away your information, you know, like people that really kind of throw you through the ringer. They don't really care. They just serve themselves. You know, it's people who go to jail, like people who kind of really don't have much else out there for anybody but themselves. They're just very self-serving and disingenuous. You know, I feel here like there's this energy of kind of being shell-shocked, Libra, where it's like you're dealing with that energy but trying to release it, yet it's still like present in your mind and your heart. It's not letting it go, yet it's almost as if you have to start getting out and doing things now, changing things up, rearranging your life a little bit so you can start to experience more in a healthier way. If you can incorporate some of these feelings into transmuting them, moving them through, allowing yourself to change things up, you'll be able to get a fresh start. You know, you have two cards which indicate really good starts, but I think here, the crux of this reading, it's like everything here is frustration, anxiety, defensiveness, anger, sorrow, you know, being not comfortable in the surroundings that you're in or with the people that you've been with, you know. I think it's important for you, if you can, sorry, I've got cat hair in my mouth. If you can find people who you can connect with, the better. This is about getting out of your head, Libra. So let's go ahead and clarify this reading for you. I feel like I should bring these up a teeny bit just because I won't have space for anything else. Okay, show me the Nine of Discs for Libra. What's the Nine of Pentacles about? Okay. So you have the Empress popping out for the Nine of Pentacles. The Empress is about abundance. She's about feeling good in yourself. She's about getting to the place where you feel successful, satisfied, and, you know, just really in your own skin, feeling comfortable within your own skin. It's, you know, looking good, smelling good, eating good food. I'm not talking about going out on the town every night and looking like $1 million. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, you know, are you eating healthy things? Are you drinking good water? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you like nurturing and nourishing yourself? This is a card of nurture and nourishment. You know, it's taking care of the necessary things in our lives so that we can feel good where it shines through. This stuff, however, feels like it's been a drain. It's drained you emotionally on multiple levels. And it feels like now you're in the position to actually work through some of that. Walking away from that shell-shocked energy overall. Please show me. Okay, so the Three of Swords is coming out. So you have the Queen of Cups and you have the Page of Wands in reverse. You may have been dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It may have been somebody who talked a big game but didn't really deliver much. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Five of Swords. So somebody who can essentially manipulate a bit, be very self-serving, somebody who's not easy to deal with, mental games. The Page of Wands in reverse too, that's basically somebody who, they get fired up, they get excited about something, and then they kind of get cold feet, or they don't really know how to move forward with the situation because maybe they got excited about it, maybe they were all on board, but then something about them within them kind of brings them down. It brings them to a point where it's like, ooh, am I making the right decision? I don't know, better back off, better run out. That's kind of difficult energy to deal with, especially if, you're dealing with somebody who wants a solid relationship. You may have shared a fair amount of love with this person, but sometimes when people are uncertain, it really is painful. For the Seven of Wands, you have the Justice card here, Libra. So justice is about doing right. It's about setting things right, apologies. It's about finding out information, having clarity within situations, about fairness, honesty. It's about justice, getting justice in a situation. Sometimes when we have the Seven of Wands up, that's basically where we're high anxiety levels, anxiousness, not sure what we can trust, not sure if the people that we're around are the ones that we need to be around because it feels like we're constantly on guard. When we have the justice with that, that can basically talk about energy where we, you can receive an apology from somebody who maybe you're feeling defensive about, or you're just taking them out of your life. The Justice card also communicates an energy where we sever ties with people, where we cut what is not right out of our lives, At the bottom of the deck for Justice coming out, you have the Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords is indicative of an energy where we're done with things that are painful, where we've been stabbed enough, we've been, frustrated and hurt enough by a person where, there's not much more you can do. It's done. You can't continue it, and there's no way you can sustain that type of energy, so you have to get away from it. You have to walk away. You've got to let it go. Tens are finality. This is an ending to a problem, and whether that be because somebody apologized and let you release out of this, or you release somebody out of this. This could also be a situation where somebody was removed and had to go to like an incarceration. That's not always the case, but justice can talk about that as well. Show me the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, you have the Moon. So aside from the Moon talking about defense or deception and lies and cheating and, things done under the moon, under the dark, it also talks about not having a steady grasp upon our emotional aspect, like where we're feeling with our emotions, how we're kind of managing our life and making sure that we're okay. It's having our emotions constantly in flux. I think it's important to be able to have compassion here with yourself, Libra, and do what makes sense in regard to opening up channels to heal yourself, opening up channels of communication with people that are healthy and like-minded. Be aware of the things that you're putting into your body, the things that you're watching on TV. Are you watching trash TV? Are you watching, I don't know, too much porn? Like, what are you watching? Is it nourishing for your mind? Is it uplifting? You want to be around uplifting people and subject matter. Show me the Three of Wands in reverse for Libra. This talks about a confusion within our emotions, not being certain, and especially with the Five of Cups here too. Pisces energy, but the Five of Cups is about that wallowing type regret, frustration, pain, and here it's just like an emotional wreck. That's not a good place to be, Libra. And it's valid, but it's not somewhere where you want to live. Show me the Three of Wands in reverse. So you have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse with the Devil. So for the Three of Wands, again, that card where we are, patiently waiting for things that we want, thinking that things are coming forward, letting it go. In a certain way, it's like letting it go because we've kind of let go of aspects of ourselves. For the Nine of Pentacles to be showing up here in reverse, you have it here upright. Here, it's in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse can talk about feeling unstable, feeling unsure of ourselves, which direction we want to go in, somebody who's not confident at this time within themselves. And it feels like you have a pretty significant connection to somebody who's been very toxic in your life. Again, the Seven of Swords person, this Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, Five of Cups, Seven of Wands. It's all very heavy energy to be dealing with, The Devil represents Capricorn energy. You may be dealing with a Capricorn. That's fine. But I mean, the Devil talks about people who are... tend to serve toxic purposes in our life, toxic connections in our lives, people who, willingly are entrenched in, whatever type of abusive coping mechanism. They can be, sucked into overeating, over drinking, sex gambling, whatever type of redundant abuse they like to put themselves through and put others through. It's somebody who can lie, steal, cheat, somebody who's very unwilling to treat you properly. They don't care. It's very, very toxic energy, very self-serving. So in regard to the Three of Wands, letting things go, I think it's important to try and get back onto your feet in regard to feeling better about yourself. Try not to, try to pinpoint the sources of negative interaction that you have in your life, the things that are actually that are not good for you and that you're continuing to uphold. What are those things? Who are those people? How can you weed yourself from them? How can you wean away from them? Okay. Show me the Seven of Swords here for Libra. So for the Seven of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse is about inaction, not feeling emboldened, not feeling desirous, not feeling good about yourself. Sometimes it's just not having the energy to do anything. Sometimes it's a lack of communication. You may have this situation where you're wanting closure from somebody, you're wanting apologies, or at least some sort of when I say reconciliation, I don't necessarily feel like, yes, I want you back in my life, but can you please communicate with me what the fuck just happened? Or what happened a while ago, could be 3 months ago, 7 months ago, a year. But it's enough to hurt. It's enough to feel upset and frustrated within a situation, within a person. You may not have communication between the two of you. Somebody may be just shut off, And here at the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Pentacles. This talks about reciprocity, connection, equal exchange. It feels like there is no equal exchange here with the Seven of Swords and this Ace of Wands. So I'm going to get another clarifier for the Seven of Swords. Please show me for the Seven of Swords for Libra. You have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands here too. So you may have been in a fight with somebody. There may be harsh words spoken or no words being spoken, which is incredibly harsh as well. But it's at a finale. It's an ending here. And I think what's going on is that you're kind of just ruminating and feeling over these thoughts and emotions that are kind of stuck in, and I feel like one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. It's almost as if you kind of get yourself up and out and then you kind of go back into it. It's an ongoing depression. Show me the Magician, please. So you have here the Three of Wands in reverse. It's in reverse here again. This is giving up. This may be giving up on new opportunities, new beginnings, new hope. Here with the Magician, this is about manifesting new things into your life. But what happens here with this card is we have to incorporate these experiences that we've had already, and we basically fine-tune them so we can learn from our lessons and move forward into our next phase. What do you incorporate from this experience into your next phase? What makes sense for you? What doesn't make sense for you? Let me drop it. Let me take it. Like, what do you want to do? It's feeling alive again, rejuvenated. Here, I feel that there's, with the Three of Wands in reverse, it's almost as if we're like giving up on new beginnings. You know, it's almost like back to square one, where we're losing confidence within ourselves, where we're frustrated, we're emotional wreck, mental wreck. You're probably not doing very well with your work right now if this reading is for you, because it's too much. It's too focused on the pain. Judgment here, I believe, also fell out with that. It's out. I'm pretty sure 2 cards came out. Judgment is here with us as well. So this is kind of how we self-govern, okay? Judgment here. How are we going to govern this situation and make it better for ourselves? What's going to be the turning point here, Libra? How are you going to change this up? Because this doesn't seem very easy to deal with. It feels like, right now, it feels like kind of a loss, an emotional loss, a mental loss, and frustration. And it needs to be removed. So let's go ahead and I want some advice for you, because I don't want to just leave this like this. I'm going to pull these cards. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Let me see what we want to see. Show me the Devil. So you have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. 2 queens here. It may be a situation where you're dealing with somebody who, you know, is either, where's my chopstick? Somebody who is verbally abusive, mentally quick to blame, you know, often just kind of berating you. Somebody who has given up on themselves physically, emotionally. Somebody who's let their home go to shit, you know. And this may also be you. The Queen of Wands isn't just, or the Queen of Swords isn't just about, you know, bitchy attitudes and, you know, she'll bite your head off. Well, that is part of it. It's an energy where we can kind of just not care anymore, where we can be so depressed, like severely depressed, that our communication is just at an all-time low. The way that we think about ourselves, this is about thinking here too. The way that we think about ourselves is minimal. We don't care. We've let go of ourselves. We don't really give a shit anymore. With the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse, is about like letting go of your surroundings. This may be when I said, you know, if you're having work situations, it might not be going that great. This is about that. It's about not having enough, you know, not working hard enough. And not to say that you're a lazy person, but this, in this capacity, within this reading, this to me tells me that you're more so exhausted inside, depressed, not taking care of your home, dirty dishes, dirty laundry, you know, maybe you need to scoop the cat box more than once a month, that kind of stuff. You also may be dealing with an air or an earth sign, and this may be the 2 of you in the way that you're reacting to one another as well, where we have bitchy communication, harsh communication, and then we have somebody who's very frustrated, you know, not nurturing, lazy, somebody who's just kind of let themselves go from it. So please show me more about the 7 of Swords. So you have the 3 of Swords here popping out really quickly for the 7 of Swords. The 3 of Swords, again, you have it here and here. It talks about heartbreak. It talks about emotional unrest, mental unrest, you know, the combination of the 2. It calls for rest to take place. It feels like you're still in your mind and your heart about whatever this is, and you're needing to have some boundaries here. You're needing to create boundaries within yourself, okay? Which is hard for people to do, all right? Sometimes we like to think that it's somebody else's fault, and it very well may be, but you're part of that equation, you know, so whatever you can do to help this situation along as far as the healing process is concerned, it's your job to do, because oftentimes that person either doesn't care, isn't aware of how you're feeling, you know, and frankly, it's your position to take care of yourself and your mental health, okay? Your mental and emotional health. That's your job. And it feels like, not to get down on you, but it feels like that's kind of been neglected at this point, Libra, for whomever this reading is for, okay? So show me the Three of Swords over here. You have the Eight of Pentacles here with the Moon at the bottom of the deck and the Nine of Swords underneath that. It's something that you may have tried to work on a lot. Maybe you were giving your energy to consistently and it was not being received or returned. It also may be a situation where the person that you were dealing with would rather deal with other things versus you, put their energy and effort into other things versus you. Show me the Queen of Cups. So you have the Seven of Wands again. Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands. You have the Seven of Wands somewhere else over here too, I feel. Yeah, it's over here. Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is here 3 different times in this reading. Anxiety, being on guard, being tired, frustrated, having to be on edge all the time. That's not a very good feeling. You know, at the bottom of the deck underneath that, you have this Devil here again presenting. So this is connections with people who are toxic, who are not healthy for us to be around. But it feels here, it's like you're at odds with this type of person or people. And it's time to let it go. It's time to release that. You know, if somebody is non-committal, if somebody has their hand in too many cookie jars, if somebody just can't commit, that's their doing. It's painful, but you can't make somebody do something. You can't, you know, make anybody a certain way. It's just going to have to be how they are. And in this particular situation, I wouldn't consider going back to this because it doesn't seem healthy. It doesn't seem like it's something that can be sustainable, especially on an emotional level. Show me the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Eight of Cups here for that, Libra. With the Princess of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So you may be separated from this person, Libra, but it seems like you're also like waiting and watching and being very painful here. The Empress and the Nine of Pentacles is talking about getting back on your feet and starting to do things in your own way, trusting yourself and the abilities that you have. Here we have either somebody that's walked away from you or you've walked away from somebody, and this is about singlehood, but we're still stuck in this emotion. So I'm going to go ahead and get some advice from these medicinal cards, and we will see what they say. Show me advice for Libra, please. Show me advice for Libra. You have the Nine of Earth. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. Again, Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles here. Did you have it again? You didn't have it again. That's okay. The Nine of Pentacles, it's presenting here. This is basically, again, being on our own, working towards things that are satisfying within our life, finding hobbies that enrich our lives, enjoying ourselves, amassing money so that we can feel solid in our experience. It's about finding your own stability and being satisfied within it. Give me more advice for Libra. You have the Four of Water, Four of Cups here. Okay. The Four of Cups essentially is a card where we are not accepting any offers. We're not making any offers. It can also be a card where we're just kind of shut off from everything. You know, it may be seen by others as being sullen, withdrawn, but it's deeper than that. It's kind of deeper than that. It's having a lot of, it can talk about having a fair amount of pain and just kind of removing yourself from situations, ignoring people, ignoring situations, ignoring aspects of your life, and just kind of neglecting things. And also sometimes missing out on opportunities because you're so painful about something that you kind of miss out on the potential for other things to be happening. But that's okay. You need to feel your feelings and go through them. You can't heal something right overnight. I mean, this is painful. Show me one more card of advice for Libra, please. Okay. So you have the Ten of Water in reverse. The Ten of Water is the Ten of Cups. It's in reverse here. This is talking about not feeling satisfied within your emotions in regard to this. not having connections anymore with people that we very much loved at a certain point, somebody that we felt very connected to on an emotional level, somebody that we thought maybe could have been our all, or very, very close to being our all. And it's like we've had to either walk away from it and they've walked away from us. I feel here that it's important for you to get, okay, so I'm getting like health advice, and I'm just going to say it. I'm not a doctor. I cannot prescribe anything to you, but as far as what I'm feeling here, you're needing to get more oxygen into your blood. And I'm not just talking about going out and getting some fresh air. Like, you know, if you have blood issues, you need more you could potentially need more oxygen in your blood, an oxygenator for your blood. They have that. Some of you may need to increase your chlorophyll intake, dark leafy greens. Some of you may want to incorporate juicing. That's not putting it through the blender and drinking it. You need a juicer. Blending and juicing are very different. Look them up. Very, very different. Juicing removes the fiber. Blending just blends everything together. Very different. Yeah, chlorophyll, spinach, green things, kale, all of that. Do not cook them raw. You know, for some of you, you're going to need to be able to get that type of stuff taken care of. I don't know if there's... Okay, I'm being shown too many things. Hang on. Yeah, I feel some of you need like a health check. Some of that's going to be mental, and I don't mean like you're crazy. It's just, it's helpful to go and talk to a counselor, you know, even if it's a free counselor, you know, whatever, it's okay. It's not bad to see a counselor. Some of you may need to get a checkup at the doctor though. That's what I'm feeling as well. Some of you are needing to purify your situation, find different clarity, and also start to infuse more exercise into your life. You need to be energized. You need to start to incorporate things in your life that are going to bring you more energy. Okay. Clean water, clean food, better living. Try to stay away from things that are processed, you know, overly processed. Keep to the perimeter of the supermarket. So let's go ahead and get a Nocturna. Show me energy present for the sign of Libra, please. Yeah, I think here too, with this Judgment card, Libra, this is all about really changing your situation up. It's about letting go of this pain as best as possible, because it feels like you're pretty entrenched in this right now, but letting it go as best as possible so you can have some fresh air, so you can have a new sense of like well-being. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. Show me energy present for the sign of Libra for this reading, please. Show me energy present for the sign of Libra here. So you have Asphodel. All right, so let's go ahead and read Asphodel. Asphodel, feeling stuck, unable to move on, regret. Oh yeah, that's this whole reading. In the Greek underworld lies the fields of Asphodel. This is a realm where ordinary people who are not heroic enough for the Elysian fields, nor wicked enough for the pits of Tartarus, lie. In Victorian floriography, the flower means, my regrets follow you to the grave. Are you unable to move on from something? Is there anyone you need to say, I'm sorry to? You may need to say, I'm sorry to somebody, or somebody may need to say, I'm sorry to you. But here too, with the Seven of Swords, you know, and this Ace of Wands in reverse, kind of what I was talking about before, you may not have this apology. You may not have this type of closure or clarity, because it seems like the communication is guarded. The actions are guarded and the communication's minimal or non-existent, you know. Will there be change in that regard? Will communication come forward? So you have the Six of Wands here, which is about being recognized, being heard, being seen for your efforts. It's about victory. Give me one more for that. Is communication coming for Libra? So you have the World here. It landed on the Eight of Cups. It's also on its side. Oftentimes when cards are on their sides, I will oh, I kind of feel like 50-50 about them. Like they are sending their message, but they're also not revealing their message entirely. It's kind of being uncertain about a certain thing. The world is about finality. It's about change, allowing things to die down and change so we can have the ability to experience more once a particularly difficult segment of our life has gone on. This is a big one here. It's letting things go, allowing things to really change. Some of you will get victory, or at least some communication here that may make you feel better about this, which will allow change to happen. Some of you, the communication is not going to be there. Some of you, the information is not coming. Somebody's keeping things very secret, very tight-lipped. You're going to have to use your intuition about it, or you have been. Some of you, like I said earlier, have been spying, on this person. I think it's important to be able to be honest about how you're feeling. And when you are ready to start to cut the ties and make efforts to not be consumed by this energy of this person, you will. And it's going to be on your own time. It's going to be in your own progression. You can't be a certain way for anybody. Your healing is your own, and it's going to take its own sweet time. And that's okay. So Libra, I hope that this was helpful. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to leave a donation, there's a link in the description box below where you can find that. And I hope everything goes well for you. Yeah, happy birthday also, Libra. Happy birthday. I don't think I mentioned that last video. I will be back in November for you guys. So I hope everything's well. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Enjoy your birthdays for those of you that have it coming. And good luck for whomever this is for. Good luck. This is a lot of pain to decipher and go through. All right. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.